I would also argue that, some of our brothers and sisters, particularly in the, MAGA camp, I think, particularly enjoy the circular firing squad. You want to come at me and call me a rhino, you can kiss my ass. Look, I've spent a lifetime fighting for limited government conservatism. I have laid it all on the line. I've not seen my family but for 2 days in the last 30 days. You go around talking your big game and you thumping your chest on Twitter. Yeah, come to my office and come have a debate, mother. You know why? Because I'm standing up for this country every single day. And Steve, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to go to a nunnery because there were people who were buried over in Normandy who deserve us to stand up for what they fought for. So that's what I'm going to do. And all of you out there who are out there saying what you're saying out on social media, you stick it. I'm going to go down to the floor and do my job, and I'm going to stand up for the people who fought for this country. And I'm going to do it the way I think is right for the people that I represent. That's what I think.
Chip's fired up? Well, let's ask him about it. Joining me now, great congressman from the state of Texas, my friend Chip Roy. Okay, Chip, what in the world got your hackles up so bad yesterday after all that dust up?
Yeah, Jesse, look, first of all, the reason we're in this situation is that we have Democrats who refuse to work with us on anything rational. They're watching our country burn and they don't care. They literally had one of our own Democrat colleagues get carjacked 9 blocks from this very Capitol and don't seem to care about securing our community, don't care about open borders, don't care about fentanyl pouring into our communities, don't care about $2 trillion of deficit spending and $33 trillion in debt. They don't care about a blank check to Ukraine continuing to foster a proxy war. These are all things that you would think we would have collaboration on, and we do not. So we are left dealing with a family as Republicans to figure out how to get this done. And what I was reacting to, and it was not my friends Matt Gaetz or Tim Burchett or Andy Biggs or Rosedale or Eli Crane or any of these guys that, took the position they took because they were frustrated with where the place is operating in the status quo. I understand they've used the rules to go accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. No issue with that. The issue I have is when my phones are getting burned down by people being disrespectful to my staff, saying rude things and being frankly threatening and vulgar to my staff because somebody puts out some missive that says Chip Roy is pro-Ukraine because I said maybe we should attach HR 2 border security to Ukraine and make them put their money where their mouth is. I took issue with that. I'm not going to go back down because a bunch of people start lobbying in calls who aren't my constituents. My constituents have a voice, I listen. But these pundits who go out there and take swipes at us when we're trying to fight the fight to actually do something in this godforsaken town, I'm not going to apologize for that. And I'm not going to apologize for standing strong. I will apologize for using language I should not have used. But I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I got angry at the people attacking the people that I love and that are working for me, fighting hard to go achieve what we need to achieve for them.
All right, let's talk about what happened in whatever way you can, Chip, because there's a lot of things at play here. And even the 8 who voted to bounce McCarthy all have different motivations and different reasons. I obviously hear many of the same things you hear. Setting all that aside, you didn't vote to bounce McCarthy. Now, you're not exactly some squishy middle-of-the-roader. Explain your reasoning.
Well, my reasoning is exactly where we sit right now. We're now forced with most likely adjourning tonight because people have left town because now Republicans don't have agreement. Now we've got Democrats leaving town for Senator Feinstein tomorrow. There's a federal holiday Monday. I'm still in Washington. I'm not leaving town until there's either nobody here to meet with or until I can not accomplish something. I'll come back whenever we can. My view is we should stay here. We should select a speaker. I didn't think this was the right road to go down at this point. I want to stress at this point, because we have an obligation to do the work that they sent us here to do. We have appropriations bills. We just voted yesterday on the rule to go to do appropriations bills that now we're not doing. I think we need to get those passed. I think we need to set a line in the sand. I think we need to set an agenda against the Democrats. We were working on that. It was not where I wanted it to be yet, but I wanted to let the coach or the quarterback, take us through the fourth quarter and see if we could stick it to the Democrats before that 45 days was up. You know what? It happened. We are where we are now. Now we have a job. Go select a speaker. Don't get wrapped around the axle and all these let's change the rules. Nobody in America cares about that. Pick a speaker, cut spending, secure the border, stand up and stop the proxy war in Ukraine without accountability and making sure we do the right thing there. That's our job, and that's what we should do right now.
Okay, where do we stand right now on that? Obviously, I've seen all the news. Everyone else has seen it. Jim Jordan looks like he's throwing his hat in the ring. Steve Scalise looks like he's throwing his hat in the ring. Long-established leadership guys who are going to have plenty of friends behind them. Is there some, I don't know, outsider conservative upstart who might challenge those guys? Or do we even want to challenge those guys? I kind of like Jim Jordan. I like him a lot, actually.
Look, Jim Jordan is a very good friend of mine. Obviously, got a lot in common, and we've worked together on a lot of issues, including getting HR2 through the Judiciary Committee. Probably the best thing we've done this year. Look, Steve Scalise is a friend. Tom Emmer's a friend. Kevin Hearn's a friend. These are good, patriotic, God-fearing Americans that I'm happy to sit down and figure out, where we're going to go. But here's the one thing that matters. Whoever's going to be the speaker needs to put forward a plan that is crystal clear as to what we're going to do to win. I'm tired of not winning. And what I said at the Republican conference meeting yesterday morning was, we cannot go back out to the American people and run on having increased the debt ceiling $4 trillion and having done a continuing resolution of the Nancy Pelosi spending levels and have done nothing on the border and have not impeached Mayorkas or Biden and have not accomplished anything to pull back on the power of a weaponized DOJ and have not done what we need to do on the Department of Defense with respect to the woke, a destruction of our recruiting and the morale there. So we can't campaign on that, but more importantly, the American people can't continue to live in that universe. Inflation is killing them, open borders, crime, watching our military struggle. So we've got a job to do. And so I'm demanding of whoever's going to be the speaker, what are you going to do to accomplish those objectives? And that's what I think the question ought to be asked.
Chip, obviously people are just starting to catch on to this whole debt thing. 33 trillion in debt, everyone knows we just surpassed that. What most people do not know is we've added $1 trillion in 3 months. In 3 months, we've added $1 trillion in debt, interest rates going up. This is exponentially growing, Chip, and it will destroy us all. Are there any emergency meetings about that, or are we all just crying about Kevin McCarthy and his political career?
Well, I would say that right now the good news is that a whole lot of the conversation for the last 24 hours has been, besides some of the wailing and gnashing of teeth, has been about those substantive matters. Who's going to get the job done? We cannot continue down this path. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this speakership began to unravel on Memorial Day weekend with a $4 trillion debt ceiling increase in which we did not substantially stop the leftist march. So that's central. Your point is correct, although I would very carefully remind you that it's more like 1.6 or 7 trillion that it has gone up since that time. And look, the reality is it's going to continue skyrocketing if we don't change it.
Man. Chip, go get them. Rooting for you.
Thanks, Jesse. God bless.